Patricia smiled over her plate. Tessa's housewarming was so lovely, she said, and the table hummed with agreement. My sister looked flawless in the low light. Mark stared at his phone. Then Mom's gaze pinned me. So when are you going to catch up? My name is Elena, and it wasn't loud or cruel, just an assumption in a new dress. The waiter hesitated. Tessa froze with her glass half raised. Something in me clicked into place, clear, quiet. I set my fork down and met my mother's eyes. I already did, I said. Her forehead creased. Did what? My housewarming. The words came out even. Graham and I hosted it last year. Tessa blinked, startled. You did? Yes. I kept my focus on Mom because this was always the lane she put me in. It was a good night. Patricia's confusion hardened into hurt. Why wouldn't you tell us? I inhaled slow. Because I didn't want it to feel like an audition, I said. I wanted one thing that was just mine. Mark looked up, eyes wide, as if neutrality could save him. It couldn't. Mom's voice thinned. So we weren't invited. You weren't, I said, gentle and exact. We invited people who show up for us without conditions. The silence that followed was thick enough to touch. I slid my wallet out, tucked cash under my water glass, and stood. My legs shook. My voice didn't. Happy birthday, Tessa. I didn't wait for permission. Outside, the night air stung my face and made my eyes water. Graham's hand found the small of my back like a steadying brace. In the car, he glanced at me, careful. Do you want to tell me how it got to this? Streetlights slid over the windshield. It started before you knew me, I said. Patricia liked to brag she raised 2 daughters with potential. In our house, potential came with a ladder. Tessa, 2 years older, climbed it easily. Good grades, loud friends, constant praise. Mom spoke about her like proof. I was the quieter one, the kid who read and waited for conversations to end. After my parents split, Mark moved in and mastered being neutral, which mostly meant silent. At dinners, Tessa's stories expanded. Mine got a nod, then vanished. So I stopped announcing dreams. I worked through school, took shifts that wrecked my weekends, and saved money in small, stubborn piles. If you spoke too soon, someone decided you weren't there yet. Then I met Graham. He listened without editing me. He never asked when I'd catch up. He treated me like I already belonged. We bought our little place on Alder Street and made it ours. We hosted a housewarming for friends who showed up without conditions. I didn't invite my family. I wanted one night that wasn't measured. They found out anyway. Mom's "Where exactly is it?" turned sharp. Tessa texted for photos, renovations, square footage, questions shaped like a measuring tape. Then Luke ran into me at the grocery store and admitted their bigger house was crushing them. The next day, Mom called, voice gentle. You're doing well now, she said. Maybe you could help, just until things stabilize. I said no. The warmth drained. Messages thinned. Dinners happened without me. Until the birthday invitation. Suddenly family, suddenly urgent. Graham's knuckles whitened on the wheel. So, what do you want now? Peace, I said. And my phone buzzed, relentless. By the time we reached home, I'd stopped shaking. Graham made tea and we sat at our kitchen table under the warm bulb we chose because it didn't make anyone look harsh. My phone lit up. Tessa, did you really have a housewarming? Mom, we need to talk. Mark, your mother is upset. I waited until morning. I'd spent 33 years answering on their clock. I wasn't doing that again. At noon, I texted Tessa one photo. Our front steps on Alder Street. Friends' shoes scattered like a welcome mat. Yes, I wrote. Last spring. Her reply came fast. I didn't know. Luke's scared. The house is eating us. That was the first honest sentence she'd ever offered me. I called her, not to rescue, just to be real. I'm sorry it's heavy, I said, but I'm not paying for it. Silence, then a breath. I get it, she whispered. Mom insisted on meeting. I chose a cafe halfway between our neighborhoods, bright windows, hard chairs. She arrived polished, as if hurt could be ironed flat. You embarrassed me, she began. I told the truth, I said. You can be in my life, but not as an evaluator." Her mouth opened, closed. For once, Mark didn't fill the space. Mom's shoulders sank. "I don't know how to do that," she admitted. "Learn," I said. "Or don't. But my peace isn't up for vote." That afternoon, Graham and I walked home through winter sun. I felt no triumph, only steadiness. When my front door clicked behind me, the house held me. Quiet, warm, finally mine. Weeks later, Tessa sold the place and thanked me for saying no. Mom's calls softened. Sometimes she asked, "How are you?"